Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at finding the area of an irregular shape. Now remember, the area means all of the space inside, the square units inside. On Monday and Wednesday, we looked about finding the missing side lengths and then how to calculate the perimeter, which is the distance around the shape. So before we get into area, we're going to still find the perimeter. So let's do that first. So to find the perimeter of an irregular shape, we're going to go back to our steps. Number one, we're going to check to see if we have all the side measurements. So let's do that. I have this side, this side. I don't have this one down here or this one. Okay, so we determined that. We're going to go on to our next step. Number two, use the side measurements you know to find the ones you don't know. So what that means is you have to remember that a characteristic of a rectangle is opposite sides are parallel and they're congruent. So if I'm going to try to find this side length, I'm going to show you with a different color, just so we know that this line is running up and down vertically. So that means if I stretch this line over here and made one large rectangle, I would have these two vertical lines. That would be the opposite side. So whatever this is, I know that this and this is going to be equal to it. Well, I have 6 and 3, so that would be this side length. 6 plus 3 is 9. And I know its opposite side is going to be congruent. So this side length is going to be 9 millimeters. So there, I'm done with the vertical lines, the up and down lines. I have to go on to my other missing side length, which is down here. This one runs horizontally or left to right. So I'm going to highlight that a different color so you can see. Okay. I'm going to find its opposite sides, which would be this horizontal line and this horizontal line. Because if I stretch this way up here and made one giant rectangle, these two lines would be its opposite side. Well, if 8 and 5 equal 13, then I know that its opposite side is going to be 13 millimeters. Okay, so now I have all my missing side lengths. I'm going to go back to my tips. The third one is add up all the side measurements to find the perimeter. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to know that this side is 13, but so is the opposite side. So I have two 13s, which is 26. And then I have my widths, which is 9, and this is going to be 9 as well, which is 18. So my perimeter for this irregular shape is going to be 44 meters. Okay, now we're going to go to the area, finding the area, which is the distance or the space inside. So we have tips for finding the area as well. So we're going to go to tip number 1. Split the figure into rectangles. Okay, so I can add a line here, or I can add a line here. I don't want to use both of them though. Don't make a lot of rectangles if you don't have to. So I'm going to erase this one and I'm going to create two rectangles. I have this rectangle. If I covered that, I have this separate rectangle. Okay, so I did that. I need to go to the step 2. Determine what sides of each rectangle are its width and length. Okay, so I'm going to go to this rectangle. So let's pretend that I'm going to cover up this whole bottom part. I'm just going to consider this rectangle. What is its length and width? Well, I know its width and length are 5 and 6. It's not 5 and 9 because 9 goes all the way down here, and we're only considering this amount. So to find the area of any rectangle, we do length times width, which gives us an area of 30 square meters for this rectangle. We still have a rectangle up here. So I'm not going to consider this part of the rectangle anymore. I'm just looking at this. So I need to consider its length and width. Well, I know it's going to be a 3 by 13 rectangle, not a 3 by 8 because the 8 stops here. We have to consider this whole thing. So a 3 by 13. Well, we find the length or the area by doing length times width. So 3 times 13 is 39 square meters. Then I go on to my next step. Is if you don't have the side measurements, use the ones you know to find the ones we don't know. Well, we already did that with when we find the perimeter. So we can go on to 4, which is to find the area of each rectangle by multiplying length by width, which we did. And then 5 is we're going to add up both areas to get the total area. So I need to find the total area. So I just add my 2 areas, which would be 69. So my area for this entire figure would be 69 square meters. Don't forget the square because we're finding the square units inside. Okay, so stop this video as many times as you need to. I'm going to give you an exit ticket where you'll probably do 2 practice problems. Okay, please, a lot of you are forgetting to use this, finding the missing side measurements. You need to label those on your exit ticket. Okay, and then take your time. Don't rush through it. Okay, good luck.